Welcome back. Today we are going to be covering a washer and dryer with contact paper to match the countertops we did. So, like and subscribe and stay tuned. Okay, now that I've got the countertops recovered with contact paper and a wallpaper form made on the back with contact paper, time to give these guys new paper. I think we're going to go ahead and do the marble. To start, we have to remove it. Best way to do that is get it warm with a hairdryer and peel it up. Then get a hold of it and start pulling it slowly off. And I'm going to do that, and we'll come back and I'll show you how to cut the templates. Alright. Like and subscribe to see more interesting crafts that you can make practical use of. There we go. All of it's off. Now I'll give it a good scrubbing and we'll start this project. Okay, so here's how you do this. First, you cut it larger than you need. You place it in place and very carefully hold it down so it can't scoot. Now, it scoots easy, so some people might want to put a rolled up piece of painter's tape on the back. So once you get it done like that, you're going to hold it down, and in the lower part of the inset, you are going to just do the corners last. You do not want a very dark line because you want to be able to erase it, and you don't want to tear it, and the corners will be very difficult because they'll want to tear. So once you have your template drawn on for the dryer insert, you're ready to cut it out. So let me cut it out. Cut out, I want to do what they call a dry fitting. So I am going to set it perfectly into place where I'm planning on adhering it, and I will go through and make sure my corners fit and make sure everything is fine. Then I will clean it with a rubbing alcohol. Now that I have scrubbed it with rubbing alcohol and is thoroughly dried, I'm going to put it back in place where I had it. I have folded one section down so that it will be the section that adheres. And I'm going to get it perfectly into place where I want it. Double and triple check that everything lines up. And I'm going to very carefully put that section on. It looks like I have it too far up, so I'm going to do it again. It may take you several times to get it lined up right, because you do not want to hate it after you're done. This isn't the easiest project. There we go. All right. Yeah, it's still too high. I don't know how it keeps getting high on me. It's lined up, and then when I put it down, it's not lined up. So there we go. There we go. Now it's there. All right. So I'm going to roll that over, and I'm going to pull a little bit off and push it to the backing. Now, I have allowed it to tear free on the backing, and I will adhere this piece separate because it can fold up this way when I'm done. And I continue doing it. Alright, so now that I've got this section adhered, I have pulled up this so it's ready to go on this section. And then I just turn the other direction, and I'm continuing the same method. Okay, so there we go. I have no bubbles in it. I decided this round that I was going to do a cover on this, so I just did the same method, cut it around, put it on, and then I knew that it scooped this way, so I cut this section so it would lay across this, and then just pushed it down. Okay, so this one's a little bit different. On doors, you're going to want to trace the door the same way inside the groove, but then when we get ready to cut it out, we are going to cut it. Here's the line where I drew the pencil line. I'm going to cut it slightly in so that it doesn't go to the edge and we don't have to worry about trying to fold it over the edge or peeling up later. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this out, and you won't want to make it very big. Maybe 1/4 of an inch on each side, maybe. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it out and we'll put it on. Okay, so now I did the same method of folding over and getting it in place. Then I scooted it down, made sure everything was going to land the way I needed it to. This was too long, so I trimmed it up while it's adhered to this so I could see how it's going to lay. Now we just do the same method. Make sure there's no bubbles. Okay, I thought I'd show you this. Because the slope on this, it keeps trying to bunch here and give pockets. So if I pull it up at an angle and then push it down, it fixes the issue. Because it keeps trying to put air pockets in there. But I'm kind of stretching the material and molding it to it. This does have a little leeway. You can stretch it a bit. And as I get to the end, I'm going to want to be very careful not to drop it, because I'm going to have to do the corners like that. There we go. So now if I drop anything on this, it has some protection. Now I'm going to do the dryer door. Alright, now I did the same technique on this, but the side with the handle is not going to be precise because of the handle. So I'm going to be starting this, and we're going to be pushing it this way on this one so that we can work around this handle, and hopefully it'll turn out the first try. But I got to clean this and prep it, and I'm ready. Okay, now I've gotten it on up to here. This is the really tricky spot, and honestly, it can go very poorly from this point on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line it up right here. I'm going to take a blade. I'm very carefully going to push it in place and cut across just this section right there. Right there. Then I'm going to cut where it meets, and I'm going to have to do a little bit on that. Okay, now this is just horrid. I hate this part. So I'm going to come and I'm going to cut right down here, and let's see, I'm meeting it right there. Okay. Oh boy. And I cut that a little off, so I'm going to try a little bit more. And we're going to cut right across where it should land, in theory, hopefully. And hopefully I got it. So then I'm going to do the top part the same way. If I cut these little corners right, it should look good on the corners. Well, it helps if I get the whole thing cut apart. There we go. Now I'm going to take my scissors in. I'm going to fold this back, and this is the inner part. Ow, shoot. See, you get trial and error here. All right, now I'm going to start pushing this down into. Once this gets hot several times, it'll shape more to it. So I'm going to be taking a hair dryer to it, and I will get this part hot. and then keep pushing it on until it absolutely sticks. Now, for the really hard part here, I'm going to put it right there at the top. Okay, that part is, whoops, in place. And the bottom, where I did that, is in place. Now I'm going to take the razor. I'm going to cut this corner so it can fold over the edge. And I'm sticking to it. Get that off of it. Now, I'm going to push it into place. Remove the kinks. Like so. Now I'm going to push this down into the groove and cut around it. And this will create my nice little edge. Ah! Come on, don't tear. Like that, see? And then push, 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 cut, cut, cut. Like that. And that'll create a nice look. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I do here. You apply the hair dryer. Then you can move it in, and it's starting to give. I have a bubble right there, and I am just going to cheat and give it a little slit. I'm going to blow dry it again and push it down. So now it is recessed in, and I do have a little bunching here, but I don't think I can get that any better. So I will just try to. Okay, well, the project's done and it looks pretty good. Huge transformation. I'm absolutely loving it. Now I just got to finish the utility room sink area with the same backdrop, and ta-da.